Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be bowling through the fog with Meggen033, of course. Now, Meggen has a couple of fog series, but like I said before, this is probably the one that I favor, which is all about there is only one and only one line. So, really looking forward to this. I think, an excellent way to start a Monday with a one-star difficulty fog puzzle. Let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with Meggen033 and bowling through the fog. First rule, normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, then of course every 3x3 box, so nothing unusual here. We're done with irregulars, at least for today. There is one and only one red 10 line where contiguous groups of cells sum to 10. The groups of cells cannot overlap, and digits may repeat freely on the line, even with sums. Wow, even within sums. This is going to be interesting. Right, so I think fairly stating the obvious, can't write the digit 10 in any single cell. So to minimum, these two cells will add up to 10, but obviously it's not even saying that they're in pairs. So it could be that it's 3 cells that add up to 10, or indeed 4 cells. Because of the fact that we can actually repeat digits, potentially it may even be possible to do more. This is going to get interesting. One thing that Meggen033 was clear about is if these two cells are adding up to 10, the next set are distinct. So it won't share digits. That's going to be helpful, I hope. Let's see, what else do we know? So digits are longer. Of course, the fact that there's only one and only one. So this red line that's kind of disappearing into the ether here must do some kind of loop around and then come back and enter into box 1. It is the same line. So keep that in mind. That's going to be, I suspect, quite critical for the solution today. Digits along a magenta renban form a set of consecutive non-repeating digits in any order. Means that these 3 cells have to create a consecutive set of 3 digits. That could be 2, 3, 4, for example. I couldn't do 2, 3, 5. They're not consecutive. And obviously, although it's fairly obvious in the same box, but sometimes the renbans are not. And you can't just repeat digits on them. 3 unique digits in this case that are a consecutive set of digits. We've covered them, and a black dot between cells indicates cell values with a 2-to-1 ratio, and white dot indicates cells that are consecutive in value. So it means that whatever this cell is, let's say it's a 2, this one would have to be consecutive. So 1 or 3. This cell here, if you imagine that this is a black dot rather than a white dot, well, it wouldn't be consecutive, it would be in a 2-to-1 ratio. So one cell is double the other, that would be 1 or 4. Digits in cages do not repeat and sum to the clue in the top left. That means that these 5 digits and these 5 cells add up to 15. And then last but not least, of course, the reason that you guys absolutely love this series is the fog. The grid is partially covered with fog, and correctly placing digits will clear the fog around that cell, and no guessing is required. So, fairly stating the obvious, if that cell is a 2, it will reveal all of these cells and hopefully will give us some more information to allow us to progress. So, as always, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Right. So the renban, I feel like, is very much the clue here. Let's just start stating the obvious. 5 cells that add up to 15 can only be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forget the white crop dots for a second and just focus on the renban. It's saying 2 digits from the digits 1 to 5 are consecutive with another digit that is outside of the digits 1 to 5. This can only be a 6. These have to be 4, 5. I was going to say something like 5 can't be on a 10 line, but that's not true. It's absolutely not true. Huh. You see, the challenge is these are 7, 8, 9. All right, okay. Sorry. Well, and therefore, right. This, obviously, because it's, 3 cells that are essentially consecutive, and they're all different, the 2 would have to be in here. This is 1 or 3. Can't be an 8 in either of these cells anymore. Let me just have a think about this. One of them is a 5, and therefore these two cells are absolutely going to have to be a 10. You know, even if I minimize this, 1 and 7 is already at 8. The next cell, the 4 and 5, is just too big. It won't be 10 anymore. So I'm fairly sure I can remove the 8s from both of these, and then this would be the 8. And then essentially I have one set here that are 10. I don't know if I'm going to use colors. It's going to get very confusing if I do. And then at least one more set. You see, the reason I'm kind of struggling with the 5 so much is normally to make 5, obviously you can't make 2 cells. They would be double 5. It would have to be at least 3. And the fact that 2 is in there, because normally the way you would do it is 2, 3, 5. And that is not possible on either section. And this one in particular with the white crop dot doesn't work at all. So 2, 3, 5, essentially we're adding another 5. The 2 is removing both options, so it would end up being 1, 4. So the 5 would go with 1, 4, and I'm very deliberately choosing it this side because the white crop dot would prevent the 1, 4. And I couldn't make, stating the obvious, I couldn't make 3 digits because they would be 1, 2, 3 as a minimum inside this box, given they are, you know, it's in the middle in both of them. So the third cell would definitely be in the same box as the other 2. And therefore they would be at least 6. 6 and 5 is 11. That's way too big. So the 5 needs 2 more digits that add up to 5. And it can't be 2, 3. It would have to be 1, 4. And the 1, 4 doesn't work here. So yeah, this is 1, 4. This is definitely 5. This is 4. Now I need either one cell that adds up to, that is 6, or 2 cells that add up to 6. And I can't do 3 cells. Possibly. You see, 3 cells would work. It would be 1, 2, 3. But with the 2 removal in here on the white crop dot, it doesn't work. So 3 cells doesn't work because of this 2 and the white crop dot. I'm fairly sure 2 cells doesn't because, you know, an odd digit and an even digit will create odd, odd, and even will remain odd. It's not going to get to an even digit like 10. So that has to be 6, and therefore this is 5 or 7. To be consecutive, of course. Don't know what these are yet. Oh, of course I do. 1, 4 pair gave me 3 and 7 here. Gave me 1 and 9 there. Not that it's necessarily helpful. Now, same trick. If this is a 5, I couldn't use 3 cells. Like this, it's almost certainly doing something like that, but it's not guaranteed. You can kind of follow that this is clearly going in here, this is clearly going in there. High chance that they're connecting, but again, not guaranteed. Anyway, I kind of feel like 5 is a bit of a struggle. 1 digit that's 5 doesn't work. 2 digits that's 5 would require 3 and 2, so that's possible. And then 3 digits are 5. Mind you, I can repeat digits because I can actually escape to another box here. So I think that would be possible. So yeah, I can't rule it out. And 7 in here, yeah, 7 doesn't work. 7, either this is a 3, which it isn't, or these 2 cells add up to 3 and they're 1, 2, which they aren't. So it is actually exactly 5. And then I need 2 digits that add up to 5 because 3 in the same box will be 1, 2, 3. So that's not going to work. And 2 digits given particularly, this cannot be 1, 2, or 4. This is 3, this is 2. I am actually going to use colors. I think it will help. I'm not sure like it'll be that helpful if I'm honest for myself, but I think it will make following this along much easier. These 2 cells are clearly at least together. Again, can't have a single digit that's 10. And you can already see that at a minimum, they are 1 and 4. And I can kind of get away with that, 1, 4, and 5. So I don't necessarily have to have just 2 cells. I could actually do 3, and who knows, I could potentially do 4. You can definitely see from the fog at least that it's doing that, given they're both kind of joining the cell. So 1, 4 here would require another 2 digits to add up to 5. Yeah, still possible. Right. This black Kropke dot set, which doesn't include 6. So 3, 6 is out of the picture. So this is from 1, 2, 4, and 8. 1 and 4 are not possible on this cell. So this is 2 or 8. 2 in here can, of course, go to 1 or 4. 8 can only go to a 4. So we end up with a 1, 4 pair. And then 1 or 4 in here, I think, goes back to 2 or 8 again, doesn't it? 1 would go to 2, 4 would go to 2 or 8, except it's not 2, it is 8, which makes this definitely 4, which makes this 1, makes this 4, doesn't help me resolve that 2 or 8. This is another set. This is a brand new set again. What I'm going to do is only ever, because, you know, you're just going to run out of colors otherwise, just keep track of where the new set is. Like I said, otherwise you're just not going to have enough colors to color this entire line. It's clearly more than 9 colors. So could this be a set on its own? I think the answer to that is no. 2 and 3 are not available. So it's either 1, 9, which it isn't, or it's 4, 6, which it isn't. So this is definitely part of the set. This is at least 3 cells now, which I think if I use any of the high digits is going to be a problem. So if it's anything other than 1 and 4, I suspect this is not going to work out well. So even if I go for 1 and 7, that's 8, that's 2, that actually works. And I couldn't do anything else, obviously. So this is, hang on. Yeah, this is 1, 4, 7, because the 2 and 3 are in the box, and the 8. Otherwise, this is 1, 4, 7. So 2 and 3 are in here with another digit that is from 1, 4, 7. Now, I can't make this 4, 7. I think that's stating the obvious. So 1 and 4 works. 1 and 7 works. 1 and 7 would certainly require a 2 in here. I couldn't do a double 1. 1 and 4 would require either these 2 cells to add up to 5, which is entirely possible, or just a 5. Notice that for them to add up to 5, given 1 and 4 are not available, and the 3, so this would be 2, and then at that point I'd be up to 8. This would guarantee 8, 1, 4, 5, and 2, 7. So that would pretty much say this would have to be, yeah, because that couldn't be a 2 and 1 again because of this 1. So that would guarantee this to be 3. The other possibility, which is this is 1, hang on, this is always 2. Is that the conclusion? I think it is, yeah. So forget that pencil mark. This is always 2. This is always 8. Doesn't actually help me resolve this. Now, either this is a set or we're starting a new set. So, and if we're starting a new set, I'll be honest, this could be any of the remaining digits, which is essentially 2, 3, 4, 7. So not brilliant. These 3 cells, we know what they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are 7, 8, 9. The fact that this is 7 minimum. Yeah, the challenge is I actually don't know what this is. You see, if this is one set, I could be completing another set of 10 in here. And I could easily do 2 and 8 or 3 and 7. The interesting bit is I don't seem to be able to fit in the 9. However, there was the other possibility where this is a set, and then the 7, 8, 9 would join 1, 2, 3, but notice that the 2 and 3 are not here, or, I mean, yeah, so this would have to be 1 with the 9. Challenge is, essentially, I've not eliminated anything from here. I think the only thing that I have eliminated is I don't think I can put a 7 in here. Yes. I also don't think I can put a 4 in here, because if this is the set, then this will be another one, and the 4 can't be paired up with a 6. The 2 and 3 works, and of course if this is the set, this would be a 3. And then I can't remove the 9 because this could be a 1. Yeah, it's kind of all saying, look elsewhere, sleuth. That's kind of what I'm hearing. 2 and 4, not in renban. That means 1 and 3 are not either. Not that I can place them in one row or column or anything. These 2 digits are part of a new set. This is a bit of a struggle. So I have another, okay, right. 7, no 7, Sudoku, sleuth, come on. 1, 7, 2, this is a set, this is 2, 3, this is 7, 8, this is another set. Right, lovely. And that will be green. And therefore this is from 2, 3, 4 with a definite 4. Don't need the corner pencil marks in here. This would be a new set, whatever this cell is. So let's call it blue. And I don't know where blue is continuing after that. Given I know all of these colors, this would have to be from 1, 5, 6. And so say I meant digits. This would have to be 4 and 9. This 4 is saying that's my 9, that's my 4. 9 could certainly be on the renban with 8 and 7. Don't see a problem. Kind of wondering, because like we're running out of clues that we can use to make some progress. Hang on, this is... Yeah, that was a typo. That's not 4, that's 5. Fairly sure that can't be 5 because this loop, which is clearly going in here, is certainly going to be picking one of these 2 digits next. And I can't see anything working except 1 and 9, basically. 5 and 6, I'm surrounded by massive digits that I can't actually get under it anymore. I will always go over the 10. So that has to be the 1. And therefore this has to be the 9. And that's my blue done. And this is the start of a new set. Kind of getting back to we're running out of colors again. Now, because this is quite low, and admittedly this is at least 3 or 4, I don't see a problem with using 3 digits. I could have 3, 5 in here, which adds up to 8, and then a 2. So orange is not guaranteed to stop. This could be orange. This would make this 3, make this 7, 8. And I said these would be 3, 5 because the 1, 2, 4. So that would be the 3, that would be the 5. Like all of that is fine. Right, definite impasse here. So we should be looking elsewhere, technically. Where am I going? Yeah, so I was about to say, before I kind of realized this has to be a 1, is that this white crop dot feels like this is the time to use it. You see, technically I could do 1 and 2. I would clearly need more than 2 cells because that can't be 8. Could have 2 here with 3 as well. Can't have 4 at either. So 3, 4 is out, 4, 5 is out, 5, 6 is out because I can't have 6 in either. 6, 7 is out as a result. 7, 8 is out, and 8, 9 because we've got a double 8. So this is always 2, and therefore this is definitely part of this set. 4, 6, and 8. The trick with white crocodiles is you need 1 of each parity. So I know this is a 2 because 4, 6, and 8 are not available, and this is 1, 2, 3. Gives me a triple in here. I don't want a corner pencil mark across boxes, and therefore this is 7, 9. Now this renban must be starting to get a bit tricky. This 2 is not here, that's the 2, kind of a bit obvious. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. It is not very tricky at all. Essentially, I need 3 digits that are consecutive amongst 5 consecutive sets. So not tricky at all. Let me pencil mark these just to kind of figure out if this is 2, 3, 5, for example. or something to that effect. It's not 1 7, it's not 2 6, it could be 3 5, but obviously I could go around and have this as purple. I don't think I can because I've already got 1 2 3 4 5, so this is at least 6. And these are not double 1. 6 2 is 8, and this would require double 1. So this stops with 3 5. And this is the start of a new set. We're running out of colors again. I don't think I need purple. I don't think I need yellow or green anymore, or blue for that matter. I mean, it would be useful to keep them to keep the digits, but I don't think it matters at this point. It matters for this one, so I'll keep that as a 10. Right, 3 5 in here gives me 1 and something, 1 and 9 in there. Notice how these are all high digits from 6, 7, 8, 9, not 8. That's not 9 because the 1 9 is down here, so that's the 9. 6, 7, 8. Could I get away with more than one cell on the next set of 10? If I put a 6 in here, I would need 2 digits to add up to 4, and 1 is not available. It would basically be a 4. And then with a 7, 2 digits that add up to, yeah, so this ends here, and it picks up with a new set in there. Now we know that the 6, 7, or 8 with partner, well, it's not 2, so that's not 8. This is 6 or 7, this is 3 or 4. And then in here, I have a definite 2 with one of 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to pencil mark this. Don't know. 6 and 7. Again, this just doesn't feel like it's a 9. You see, whichever way we're heading with the 10, that is a minimum of 7. And then on the left-hand side, it's 6, 7, or 8. So that's just not going to work. I'm gonna, I mean, because that was built on bad logic. There was no 9 in here. It was a 5. And admittedly, it still can't be a 9 because that's 5 or 7 or 6 or 7 or 8. It would break. So that's one. That is a well-earned one. Now the blue clearly needs at least another digit. And therefore it is from 6, 7, or 8. I'm fairly sure it is not a 5. And again, it could actually be 3 cells. I could do 1, 2, 7, for example. Then that would be 6, 4. So it doesn't necessarily, this could still be blue. Not a fan. 2 in here, 2, 3, and 4 in there on this black crop kit. So we're kind of fairly limited on options. Technically, I could do 3, 6, technically. And because I cannot have a 2, this would have to be 4, 8. 1, 2 is out, 2, 4 is out. The only place for 4 is in here with an 8 because of this 4. Now this is starting to look fairly interesting. I mean, like 1, 5, 4, 7, 3, so many ways of getting to 10 still. 3, 4 gives me a 5, gives me a 3, gives me a 1, gives me a 3. This is now 5, 6, 7. And therefore this is 2, 3, 4. Now that could actually be any of them partnering with this cell. And sadly, because of the 1 being quite low, I can still get away with actually not a perfect pair. This could still be a blue, in essence. Okay. 3, 4 pair. There's a 1 There's a 9, and then there's another 6, 7, 8. No 1 here, no 9 there. Tricky puzzle. Yeah, no 1, so the 1 has to be in one of these two cells. The 9 has to be down here. And then in essence, joining the 1 and 9 is another 3, 4 and another 6, 8. Now the 3, 4 is clearly not in here. The 3, 4 is clearly on this side. And therefore the 6, 8 is in here. And in a way I can kind of... No, it's not necessarily. I could have 1, 9, 3, 4, 6, 8. So no, I can't quite use Sudoku and say that this is a 6, 8 pair. Huh. So this is 5, 6, 7, and 8. Essentially the remaining digits, but it's not 9. With the 3, 4. But you see, this could still be another set. This could be a set. 1, 5, 4. It's a lovely set. This could be the start of another one. So I don't think I can actually restrict this in any way. 5, 6, 7, 8 tells me that one of these cells, 5, 6, 7, and then 7, 8, 9, 7 always has to be on this renban. This is not 7. As is the 9. Why did I make this look so hard? 7, 8, 9, not 8. And therefore, 5, 6 pair. And therefore, a 7 in here, no 7s. And then 2, 3, 4 in here. Again, not quite enough. There's a 3 some... No 3, sorry. 2, 4, 8. I was going to say there's a 3 in here and just realized the 2, 3, 4 be incorrect. But, oh, 5 gave me 6, gave me 5. Don't know enough yet about sets. Do I really not still? No. That is a genuine surprise. This is 3, 5, 6, or 7, 9. This is not. Three, 4. This is 1, 9, 6, 7, 8. This is too many. I must be missing some Sudoku. Something a bit more obvious than what I'm doing. So if this is a set, it has to be 1, 5, 4. If this is a set, it would have to be 7, 3. And I can't force it one way or the other. 3 would be 6. And then 7 and 4, and they have to add up to 10. So that can never be 3. That was always a 4. That was always an 8. That would make this always a 3. That would always make this a 7. I had all the information I needed. Just ignored it. Right. Is this part of the third set? So 8 just doesn't work, full stop. 6 would have worked with 1 and 3, but 3 is not available. So these two cells have to add up to 10. This is a new set. This is too small. Yeah, this is 5. That's 7. That's another set. This is the start of another set. It is clearly not 8. And therefore these 3 cells have to be of yet another set. What am I doing? Yellow. It's not going to be 9. Only place for a 9 now is in here. Now 5, 4, 1 is very convenient. 5, 2 would be 7. Technically I could do 1 and 2. hang on, 5, 2, because I can't do 3. This is always 1, is what I'm kind of getting at. That's not 1, that's whatever the remaining digit is. 6, that's a bit more obvious. That's 5, 6, as in that was never going to be 6. Now, whether the kind of set ends here or if it continues into this cell, that is unknown. What I do know is that this is not a 3, 6 black Kropke dot, and it's not 1, so this is 2, 4, 8, and therefore there's a definite 4 joining it. There is no 4 in here and no 4 in there. And in fact, 2, 4, 8 triple means that is a 3. That means that's a 2, that's an 8, that's a 7. And therefore that's a 4. This orange, that can't be 7, can it? It can be. So orange could end in 2 cells or it could continue. Don't know. That is not a 4. This is a 2-8 pair. That is a 4. So yellow ends. So these two are definitely part of the next set. And I could technically do 4, 6, or double 2. What I know I can't do is 8. Double 2 with an 8 and a 4. That's fine. 4 in here. Yeah, absolutely fine as well. 2 and 8. I mean, this can't be 8 because it would require a 2 in here. Whether this is whether this is a 3 set or a 2 set and this is starting its own, if that's 8, that would be 2. And I can't repeat it. So that is definitely 2. This is definitely 8. And this is a 2, 4 pair. Still doesn't help me determine. Just having a look if I can eliminate some of these 3 so I can just make some decisions, please, around where the sets are. Kind of carrying it for so long. I don't need that colored. I don't need this colored. Don't need that colored anymore. Don't need the corner pencil mark. Sorry, I'm just cleaning up so I can actually scan a bit better. And to be fair, not that it's always helping me, but let's just fully pencil mark this. 1, 9, 3, and then I'm missing 6, which can only be in here. Not brilliant. Somehow doesn't help at all. So in here I have another 5, 6, and then I have another 7, 8, 9. The 8 is clearly on these two, so I have another 7, 9, which is actually not this cell, to be fair. 9 is in one of these 2 cells. That can't be a 9 because that would break, so that is definitely a 9. That is another 9. These are not 9s, that's 7, 8. Hang on, what have I done? That is 3, that is 9. That is 1, that is 6. Has that 6? Yeah, it has 8, 6, 4, 2. 4, 2. This is now green. This is definitely a new set. I'm going to go red again. And then the question whether this cell belongs to orange or red is definitely not a 10 on its own. Pencil marking these 2 cells could probably help. Actually, the second 5, 6 in row 5 is in here. It's not this cell with 5 and 6 already, and therefore this is definitely a 1. The 1 is not going to get me to a 9, so this is red. That 3 requires a 7, and then these 2 cells have to add up to 9, and they're not. 1, 8, 2, 7, 3, 6 works, and 4, 5 doesn't. 3, 6, 5. Lovely, 6, 5. This looks like it's been resolved, and I hadn't paid attention. 7, 8. I need a 3, it's in here. I need a 5, it's in there. I need a 7, it's in here. And if I've not made any other mistakes, 8 for the finish. So another beautiful puzzle, like fairly involved for a 1-star difficulty rating. Like, I mean, take a look at my solve yesterday for 2 stars with 19 minutes, and then today with 1 star at 30 minutes. Yeah. Beautiful puzzle nevertheless, Meggen033. And I hope you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video, and I'll see you back soon. Bye-bye for now.